In this video I want to take a look at something that's regularly confused, or there's a misunderstanding or a misconception about it, and that is workplace harassment, sexual harassment and workplace bullying. Very, very important that you recognise that being treated badly in the workplace or being treated in a very rough manner doesn't of itself constitute harassment. Harassment must be done on in relation to one of the 9 grounds of discrimination. That is how harassment is legally defined in Section 14A of the Employment Equality Act 1998. So harassment is related to discrimination, and sexual harassment then is related obviously to conduct or gestures of a sexual nature. And just to be clear about that, references to harassment are to any form of unwanted conduct related to any of the discriminatory grounds, and references to sexual harassment are to any form of unwanted verbal, non-verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature, being conduct which in either case has the purpose or effect of violating a person's dignity and creating an intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating or offensive environment for that person. There's a couple of things that we need to look at there and unpack. As I said at the outset, harassment is any form of unwanted conduct which offends your dignity, but related to any of the discriminatory grounds, and there's 9 grounds of discrimination. And sexual harassment then is to any form of unwanted verbal or non-verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature. So that's harassment and that's sexual harassment. And it's important to draw from that as well, from that section of the definition that I've quoted from there, that it's conduct which in either case has the purpose or effect of violating a person's dignity and creating an intimidating atmosphere and so on. Purpose or effect. Purpose or effect is vitally important. In other words, the motivation of the individual doing the harassing is immaterial, because if the conduct has the effect of creating an intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating or offensive environment for the person, then that is either harassment if it's on a discrimination ground, or sexual harassment if it's any form of verbal, non-verbal, physical conduct of a sexual nature. It's vitally important to understand what harassment is in the workplace, what sexual harassment is in the workplace, because a lot of employees from time to time will come to me and they'll complain about being harassed in the workplace, and they want to submit a claim perhaps for harassment. But harassment is related to one of the 9 grounds of discrimination. To go on then to the definition of workplace bullying, again, employees come to me regularly and they complain about being bullied in the workplace, but they fail to recognise that there's a definition, a sort of a widely accepted definition of bullying in the workplace. Now, there's a number of definitions, but one that gets the most wide acceptance, I suppose, is it's set out in the Code of Practice prepared by the Labour Relations Commission on addressing bullying in the workplace. It defines bullying as repeated inappropriate behaviour, direct or indirect, whether verbal, physical or otherwise, conducted by one or more persons against another or others at the place of work and or in the course of employment, which could reasonably be regarded as undermining the individual's right to dignity at work. An isolated incident of the behaviour described in this definition may be an affront to dignity at work, but as a once-off incident is not considered to be bullying. It's vitally important to understand that bullying involves repeated inappropriate behaviour over a period of time, which basically offends a person's dignity in the workplace. And it is important that recognise that a one-off incident or a dispute or a row isn't necessarily bullying, and also that the conduct must be conduct or behaviour which has the effect of offending your dignity as an employee or dignity as a worker. So management per se is not necessarily going to be bullying, so you do need to be careful about the definitions of workplace bullying, harassment and sexual harassment. As I say, Section 14A of the Employment Equality Act 1998, which was revised, sets out the definition for harassment and sexual harassment, and then there's a widely accepted definition of bullying set out by the Labour Court, the Labour Relations Commission rather, in relation to code of practice on addressing bullying in the workplace, and also the Health and Safety Authority has its definition. They're broadly similar. They do involve repeated inappropriate behaviour over a period of time which offends the person's dignity. I hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.